We'll get to that afterwards. Evening everyone, welcome to tonight's Ordinary Council meeting, being the 18th of September 2024. Declaration of opening is made at 5:30 p.m. Members of the council are well aware, but anyone looking at the online recording knows that tonight is a decision-making night. So we had a forum last week where we had question and answers, and we have items to make decisions on, which we will do. So item number 2 on page 6 of our agenda is opening procedures. 2.1 is acknowledgement of country, and I'd like to invite Councillor Mencheli to present the acknowledgement of country.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Shire of Northam would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Balladong and Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mencheli. So item 2.2 is recording of council meetings. So members of the council are well aware, and members of the gallery, a member of the gallery, are advised that this meeting will be live streamed, is being live streamed and audio recorded and made available on the Shire of Northam's YouTube channel. If members of the public would like to have access to the recording of this meeting, they can do so via the Shire of Northam website. Item number 3 is attendance. We have Councillors Bigland, Gierak, Ryan, Williams, Mencheli, Hughes, Polton, Appleton and President Antonio all in attendance, and we have all the staff bar one, who's going to be an apology, in attendance. So we'll get to item 3.2, apologies. Mr. Devcich is an apology for tonight's meeting. So we go to page 7. So we've also got page 7. Yes, we have 3.2 apologies. Item 3.3 approved leave of absence is nil. Item 3.4 absent is nil. Item number 4 on page 8 is disclosure of interests. So I'm just going to go up a little bit. So we have item 13.1.1, lease of former Bakers Hill Fire Shed, lot 217 Great Eastern Highway, reserve 22421. Councillor Bigland declared impartiality. Members of the Bakers Hill RSL are known to Councillor Bigland. Councillor Mencheli declared impartiality. Some members of the RSL are known to Councillor Mencheli. Councillor Mencheli is considering associate membership. Councillor Williams has also declared impartiality with the same item. Several members of Bakers Hill RSL and Bakers Hill Out of School Care, I've almost got that right, are known to Councillor Williams, and Councillor Williams has been involved in many discussions with both parties and others about this lease property. So that's a disclosure of interest I have for this meeting at this point in time. If there are any others, councillors are well aware that they can hand them in prior to discussion on the relevant item. We'll now go to page 10. So item number 5 is announcements by the presiding member without discussion. So that is there as given as read. So we go to page 12. Item number 6 is public questions. We do have one member of the public or member of the gallery here, so I'm just going to see if there's any questions.
Just an update on the EV station. What's happening about that?
So I'll just repeat that in case we can't hear it. So he's just asked for an update about the EV charging station, which we happily will provide.
Thank you. Thank you for your question, Sally. So the Shire has finished its component of the work in relation to the car park. However, unfortunately, there's some issues with the Synergy infrastructure and the location, particularly of the green box that powers the EV charging stations. There's some issues with subsidence. So we're just waiting at the moment for Synergy to confirm when their contractors will be available to do the rectification works, and then we're expecting that will go live. The initial indications we've had at this stage is that it might be about mid-October before Synergy can rectify the issues that they need to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions from members of the
No,
public?
thank you.
So we're still on page 12. So we have item number 7, response to previous public questions taken on notice. As I said last week in the forum, there are some questions and answers provided, and each of the members of the public have been provided a written response in answers to their questions. So we now go to page 13. So we did item number 8, receiving of petitions, presentations and deputations. Item 8.1, petitions is nil. And then we go to page 14, item 8.2, presentations is nil. And item 8.3, deputations, where I will defer to the member of the public and see if there's an application. No, that is nil. So then we go to still on page 14, item application for leave of absence. Just want to make sure nothing snuck in there, so that's still nil. And item number 10 is confirmation of minutes, but we'll go to page 15. Is item 10.1 is confirmation of minutes from the ordinary council meeting held the 21st of August 2024. There's no questions and answers on the start where Councillor Hughes is moving. Councillor Mencheli is seconding. Is anyone likely to speak against confirmation of those minutes? So all in favour by a show of hands. That's 9-0, that's carried. Item 10.2 is notes from the council forum meeting held 11 September 2024. It's a new item. I just want to check if there's any queries or clarifications on that. No? Then I'm looking for a mover and a seconder of that. Councillor Ryan is moving. Councillor Glirac is seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands. That's 9-0, that's carried. We now go to page 38. So item number 11 is items brought forward for the convenience of those in the public gallery. I'm not aware of any, so I'm just going to continue on the meeting as scheduled. Item number 12 is reports of committee meetings. That is nil. Item 13 is the CEO's office. 13.1.1 is lease of former Bakers Hill Fire Shed, lot 217 Great Eastern Highway, Bakers Hill, reserve 22421. Just a reminder that Councillors Bigland, Mencheli and Williams declared impartiality in this item, and there's a briefing and there's a recommendation on page 44, must be 43. Sorry, I apologise for that. Councillor Williams, is going to move, and Councillor Polton won that. Sorry, I just saw him first. Councillor Williams has moved, Councillor Polton has seconded. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands. That's 9-0, that's carried. We now go to page 48. So item 13.1.2, support for regional study hub funding application. There's a recommendation on page 53. Councillor Ryan is moving, Councillor Polton is seconding. It was a race. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands. That's 9-0, that's carried. We go to page 54. Item 13.2 is engineering services, that is nil. Item 13.3 is development services. 13.3.1 is proposed scheme amendment 23 Avenue Industrial Park, stage 4. Recommendations on page 59 and 60. And Councillor Ryan has already moved for the time I've got through that. Councillor Mencheli has seconded. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands. That's 9-0, that's carried. We now go to page 96. So 13.4 is corporate services. 13.4.1 is accounts and statements of accounts, August 2024. Recommendation on page 98. As written, Councillor Girac has moved, Councillor Hughes has seconded. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 9-0, that's carried. We go to page 157. So 13.4.2, monthly financial report for the period ending 31st of July 2024. Recommendation on page 159. Councillor Ryan has moved, Councillor Hodgson has seconded. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 9-0, that's carried. We now go to page 173. So 13.4.3, monthly financial report for the period ending 31st of August 2024. Recommendation on page 176. Councillor Mencelli is moving, Councillor Ryan is seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 9-0, that's carried. We now go to page 190 on this one. 13.5 is community services, that is nil. Item 14 is matters behind closed doors. So can I please have a move and a seconder? Councillor Mencelli moves, Councillor Polton seconded. That's procedural, so I'll put that straight to the vote. All those in favour by a show of hands? That's 9-0. Luckily we've got an experienced member of the public who knows what to do. item, but let Kelly come back in. Do all these?
Yes, yeah, and then that
Okay. For the recording procedure and Sally, for you, the matters behind closed doors. So we have a number of recommendations. So item 14.1, the sale of land for recovery of unpaid rates. We had recommendation 1, the council authorises the CEO, I'm summarising Chief Executive Officer, to proceed to sell A16718 with arrears of 3 or more years pursuant to section 6.64 of the Local Government Act 1995 and attempt to recover from the proceeds of the sale unpaid rates and charges as per attachment 14.1.1.
yes.
Okay, so that was carried. So recommendation 2, that council authorises the CEO to proceed to sell A10713 with arrears of 3 or more years pursuant to section 6.64 of the Local Government Act 1995 and attempt to recover from the proceeds of the sale unpaid rates and charges as per attachment 14.1.1. That was carried. Recommendation 3 was that council authorises the CEO to proceed to sell A13360 with arrears of 3 or more years pursuant to section 6.64 of the Local Government Act 1995 and attempt to recover from the proceeds of the sale unpaid rates and charges as per attachment 14.1.1. That was carried. Recommendation 4, that council authorises the CEO to proceed to sell A16032 with arrears of 3 or more years pursuant to section 6.64 of the Local Government Act 1995 and attempt to recover from the proceeds of the sale unpaid rates and charges as per attachment 14.1.1. That was carried. Recommendation 5, that council authorises the CEO to proceed to sell A16090 with arrears of 3 or more years pursuant to section 6.64 of the Local Government Act 1995 and attempt to recover from the proceeds of the sale unpaid rates and charges as per attachment 14.1.1. That was carried. Recommendation 6, the council authorises the Chief Executive Officer to proceed to sell A16569 with arrears of 3 or more years pursuant to section 6.64 of the Local Government Act 1995 and attempt to recover from the proceeds of the sale unpaid rates and charges as per attachment 14.1.1. That was carried. There was recommendation 14.2, lease agreement for Hangar 40 and 41 Northern Airfield. The recommendation was the council approves the lease agreement provided in attachment 14.2.1 to Future Design Holdings Proprietary Limited for hangar sites 40 and 41 at the Northern Airfield, and item number 2 approves a variation to the lease agreement provided in attachment 14.2.1 as follows. A, item 6.1 of the schedule to detail the annual rent as $7,315.20, and B, clause 6.1 of the lease to be the lessee's responsibility to effect and keep in force policies of insurance as listed in item 9.1 and 2 of the schedule, and that was carried. Item 14.3 was purchase of A14476. There is a recommendation that council, number 1, authorises the Chief Executive Officer to make an offer to purchase A14476 from the landowner for a sum of $30,000 excluding GST. 2, approves by absolute majority the Chief Executive Officer to amend the 2024-25 budget as per the table provided below to fund the purchase and subsequent disposal costs for A14476. So GL item RC1150, Peacock Road Capital, original budget 250,000, proposed budget, these are all ex-GST, 232,000. RC1031, Minar South Road R2R, Original budget 175, proposed budget 162,500. RC 1130, Quonkadine Road 80,000 was the original budget, proposed budget 76,000. RC 1048 Parker Road, original budget was 140,000, proposed budget is 129,500. 1404028080 other government land freehold capital, proposed budget 0, proposed budget original budget 0, proposed budget 45,000. Item 3, following acquisition of the property, authorises the Chief Executive Officer to negotiate the sale of A14476 from the Shire of Northern with adjoining landowner or owners. Item number 4, approves the disposal of A14476 in accordance with section 3.58 of the Local Government Act 1995 to the adjoining landowner or owners, subject to the total sale price being no less than 20,000, excluding GST. Item number 5, declares that the valuation obtained on 30th of April 2024 is believed to be a true and current indication of the value. And item number 6, requires the Chief Executive Officer to present a report to Council if an agreement is not reached for the purchase and or disposal of A14476, and that was carried. So that was all those items required to be read out. So we are on page 190 of the main agenda. So item number 15 is motions of which previous motion has been given is nil. Item number 16, urgent business approved by decision, is nil. Item number 17 is declaration of closure, is made at 6:09 p.m. I'd like to thank all councillors, staff, for all the professionalism, questions and debate, and thank our members of the public for attending and asking questions.